Hey, welcome everybody to Acres, and this is my first edition of, we'll call it the Mystery Tool Monday. I know these pliers that I showed y'all yesterday aren't necessarily a mystery, but they are definitely unique. Maybe not as, unique or mysterious as these other tools that we've done in the past. However, they're still really cool. These are called safety wire pliers. They're primarily used in aviation and race cars, places or applications where you really don't want nuts and bolts to come loose. In the air, you don't really have the opportunity to just pull off the side of the road and, fix something. So I'm gonna have to take y'all over to the vise because I can't really demonstrate how they work without securely holding these bolts, so I can show you how the safety wire works. All right, so safety wire itself comes in three primary sizes. You got 20 thou, which is really fine stuff. Then you've got 32 thou, and this one is 41 thou. I don't really have much of the 32, so we're just gonna practice with the 41 and the 20. Not practice, but just give you a quick demonstration. Aviation bolts, I have a couple random ones laying around. They always have the little holes in the end, and this is what it's for. This type of nut here is called a castle nut, and generally speaking, you would use a cotter pin. So see that little hole in there? You would tighten this down, and you'd put a cotter pin through that hole, through the castle nut to keep it in place. That's how most car parts work, because again, you're not really all that worried about it if something does come loose. This type for the car with the castle nut and the hole through the bolt works just fine for that. But in an aircraft, you have a lot of parts that are bolted on, and obviously there's a lot of vibration in aircraft. So this bolt would screw in, hold the part in place, and then you safety wire it. And that's what we're getting ready to do right now. So I'm gonna stick these two bolts in the vise here. Okay, so let's imagine that these two bolts are holding a component onto, say, an engine. Take out a chunk of safety wire, cut her off. And this safety wire is probably a little too big for this application. I'd usually use a 32 thou for this one, but we'll go with it. Now, when you put this in, you want to make sure that it's always pulling to the right. So I'm going to kind of put it in here at an angle so that, and it's crisscross. Every side of the hex has a bolt hole or a hole going through it for safety wire. And I want it to pull the bolt clockwise. So we'll go ahead and start there. And I don't like that one. So I want it to pull that way. So I'll come out here. Yeah, that's better. And you just kind of eyeball it. We're going to be cutting it off anyway. So I'll wrap this side around. Let's go that way. Okay, and then the pliers always spin to the right. So I will take this and wrap it underneath, give it a good twist there. Now we can go ahead and get the safety wire pliers on it. And you got to kind of figure out how much you're going to need. So you're going from here around that way because you want to pull this bolt clockwise as well. So once I'm probably going to start maybe an inch away because that's about the distance. So we'll give that a shot. And you can always go a little bit further if you need to. Just clip it on. Get both wires in there. And just give her a spin. You can see how it just winds it right up. And it doesn't have to be crazy tight on there. So I definitely need to go a little bit further if I want to get the safety wire into that side slot there. So we'll go ahead and a little bit more. And remember, as you twist, it will shorten it. There we go. So now that's the right length right there. Now I can take one of the pieces, slip it through this hole, use your pliers, and just give her a good tug, just like that. Okay, so now we've got it snug down. So you see it's clockwise, pulling clockwise on both bolts. Get that good and snug. Bring this guy around again, get it the wrap so that it starts off in a clockwise wrap. So you can't go that way. I want to go that way to keep this from popping over the top, but I can't. I need to go clockwise. So we just start something like that. Get our pliers on there again. I'm going to hold this guy in place. Sometimes you got to muscle it down in there. There. And then usually on the last one, you give it a little up loop right there to tighten that down. Now we snip off the end and we do what's called a pigtail. You just grab onto it somewhere here. This is what the needle nose portion of these pliers is for. And twist it and make a little pigtail out of it so that when your fingers are in there, and bend it out of the way. So now when your fingers are in there, that sharp little bit that would normally be sticking out, that does not feel good and it will dig right into your little fleshy fingers. Let's take a little bit closer look here. So you can see it comes out, goes to the right. And again, so if either of these bolts try to loosen up, it gets caught. They cannot loosen up now, no matter what happens, unless the safety wire breaks. Even if they break loose, they still won't back out because the safety wire is holding it in place. So there we go. We got safety wire pliers for our first Mystery Tool Monday. I know it's not a huge mystery and a lot of people know what it is. But I know a lot of people out there have never seen these before. So hopefully you got something out of this. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe buttons, and happy Memorial Day. We'll catch you next Monday.